here with Paul Wotton, Torquay United manager. This is it, Paul. How are you feeling?
Yeah, great. Really, really calm, really relaxed. Ready. Boys are in a good place. Boys are looking forward to it.
What do you talk to the boys about when you prepare for a must-win game like this, with a lot of pressure and the whole season riding on it? How do you go about approaching it?
You have to keep it as normal as possible. It's a game of football that we need to win, but when you say pressure, I don't perceive there to be any pressure on us whatsoever. I think it's a case of Truro City have got everything to lose, we've got everything to gain, and the 4 teams below us have got everything to gain as well. So it's far from a free hit, but it's keeping things as normal as possible, as relaxed as possible, being in control of your emotions.
What do you do? Have you kind of had lighter training sessions, had a bit of fun, played a few, training? How do you kind of, I'm not going to ask you your tactics, but, how do you kind of keep it as light as possible? Because, the whole town's alive with it. You talk to people, everyone's planning how to get up to Hemel Hempstead, how to get from the station to the ground, that sort of thing.
Yeah, well, listen, like it's really boring, but we keep it as normal as possible. We train the way we've trained all season, we've done something right. We're on 86 points. We've got a chance of winning the league on Saturday, so there's no need to change. I mean, we don't have to go kayaking or temping bowling or go down Weatherspoons for the day or something, even though I'd like to. But it's we just keep it normal. We're a humble bunch. We're relaxed. We know what we've got to do. That's the beauty of Saturday. Whereas there's been an awful lot of grey area before, even though there's a ton of scenarios that can happen during the 90 minutes, 96, 97, 98 minutes, whatever. We're in control of what we've got to do, and first and foremost, we've got to win the game. After that, we'll see.
So it's better to be almost the hunter than the hunted, do you think?
I'd rather be top of the league going into it, but there's definitely no pressure on us. We've achieved our aim this season of finishing in the playoffs. Mm-hmm. We don't know what position that'll be yet, but we've achieved that. So the pressure of achieving the goal for the season is done. So anything else is a bonus.
Before we started this interview, you talked about the fact this isn't your first rodeo, whether it be as a player or as a manager, as far as promotions and playoffs and all that is concerned. I don't ever recall a league being as tight as this in any sort of kind of professional level in England ever. I mean, I'm sure there probably has been going back whenever, but in the last 15, 20 years where 6 teams can win it on the final day.
No, I mean, I think we've got a lot of experience in this room. I don't think any of us could remember a scenario like this, and I don't envisage there being one for an awful long time after it either. So the fact that 6 teams can actually win the title in the last game of the season is phenomenal, really, and unprecedented. And this, unfortunately, we're one of those teams.
There's a huge away support coming up. You talk to people I've spoken to 3 people who are going up. 2 of them haven't been to a Torquay United away game probably since they went to Old Trafford for the League 2 playoff final 15, 16, 17 years ago, whenever it was. What do you feel? How do you feel when you hear about people and going all sorts of way to try and go to Hemel Hempstead to cheer you on? And it basically sounds like it'll be another home game effectively support-wise.
It's tremendous. The fans all season, and I've said it lots and lots, have been phenomenal. They've been very supportive of myself, very supportive of the players. What it gives me personally is a tremendous sense of pride. To number one, be managing their football club, and number 2, that the players have done something to warrant those fans making that journey to Hemel. We've given the fans hope and a chance of something monumental. So the more fans that get there, the better. The louder they are, the better, and they will be loud. We're used to playing in front of big crowds, so that's no drama. And honestly, I hope they all have a safe trip, and I hope they have an amazing trip home as well.
Team news wise, how was the squad looking? Jordan Dyer came off early in your last match. How was he?
Jordan Dyer's going to struggle, unfortunately, and we've got a few other bumps and bruises, but nothing of any significance.
How tough is that for you and for Jordan? Because Jordan's been a key part of your squad for much of this season.
Yeah, he's been very, very important. I think he's had a tremendous season, although he has had spells injured as well. But whoever comes in and plays will be absolutely ready to go. So it's disappointing for Jordan, but it's one of the horrible sides of football.
It is, isn't it? We're talking a lot about your side. What do you expect from Hemel? Because there are two teams involved in this, and although they're mid-table, they will want to finish up as high as they can in the league, and then their season on a high as well, won't they?
Of course they will. There's no easy games. No easy games for Torquay United. People want to beat us, and it's and it'll be no different on Saturday. So it's completely my mind and the mantra for the players. It's all about us. It doesn't matter who we're playing. We know what job we've got to do, and we've got to go there and do it, whoever we're playing against.
And finally, from me, how will you feel, and how will it feel for you if come 5:30 on Saturday afternoon, someone's handing you a trophy?
I refuse to talk about it because it would just be. It's not me to preempt that. It's not in my personality to preempt that. We've got a job to do. Our job is to go to Hemel and secure 3 points. If that's good enough, amazing. If it's not good enough, then we'll be second and we'll have home games in the playoff. We could quite feasibly, we could finish sixth. There's too many things to worry about. So the last thing in my mind is lifting a trophy. It's I'm fully prepared and the boys are fully prepared. And what I will say is that there's a tremendous spirit amongst the players. We want a good run of form. We just got to go and do it again.
Super. Thank you very much.
No problem.
You talked last week about not having it constantly in your ear, the different permutations of the scores and what was happening elsewhere. But it inevitably filters through, doesn't it? Because the fans start singing when they go top of the league. Do you try and tell the players to shut that out completely on a day like Saturday when there are something like 120 permutations of what might happen?
I think it's impossible. I think that we will have. I will have a member of staff with their phone in the dugout because it's very important because it changes what we do, what we have to do. We have to be prepared for every scenario, right? We could easily be sat there at half time on Saturday and we could be sixth in the league.
Yeah.
It's about being. It doesn't matter because it's not the end of the game. It's what There's only one day of the season it matters to be top, and it only matters at the end of the game what the result is. So it's about being calm, being really in control of your emotions. And the message to the players is they have to trust me. They have to trust me. And they will hear, because the crowd will groan or cheer, whichever happens. But they've got to be in control of their own game, and they've just got to play the game. And trust me to manage them if we need to score more goals, if we need to shut up shop, if too many scenarios,
I was going to say, so you
I've only thought about two. I've got another 118 to think about.
Well, you can adapt it as you go along. You've got things
Have
to
to.
do. If you need that third goal on Saturday, for instance, players started pushing forward for that.
Yeah.
You're ready to change
So
on the hoof.
So we coach that, and
Yeah.
it's not. It's planned. It's planned. Like I said, we're prepared. We're ready. We'll see.
And somebody said to me last night, Torquay, you don't do very well on plastic pitches. And then I had a look at it, and we don't do badly on plastic pitches at all, do we?
Look, first and foremost, it is a plastic pitch, so there's no getting away from it. We're playing on it. There's also a big part of me, I'd much rather be playing on that Saturday than on a really poor grass pitch. So there's positives to take from it as well.
Is Jordan Dyer hoping that we finish up in the playoffs, possibly? What is the state of his injury?
I hope he's not.
No. In other words, is his injury?
It's not as bad as we first thought.
Right.
We're currently awaiting scan results, but he's 100% out for Saturday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hardly surprised, but there's a possibility that he might be back if we end up in the playoffs.
I think there may be.
And obviously the other player who had to come off on Saturday was Matt Jay. What's the latest on him?
He's currently wrapped in cotton wool. So he's
Best place for him.
yeah, bless him. But I'm hopefully he'll be fine.
I know it's difficult to sort of say, oh, we should have scored more goals on Saturday or on Monday, and then we might be in the pole position. But when you look back, do you think we could have got a few more?
I think, well, undoubtedly yes.
Yeah.
I think every manager in Great Britain right now will be sat, whether they're in a promotion race or a relegation battle or mid-table, will be sat there going, if we didn't concede there, we'd be here. If we'd scored that penalty, we'd be here. If we hadn't hit the post, if the refereeing decision hadn't been poor, we'd be here. If I hadn't made mistakes at certain times in games, we'd be here. You fry your head.
Yeah.
You fry your head, and I am not a fan of living in the past.
Just looking forward.
I'm not a fan of living in the past. There's a different way of looking at it, right? Some people might say we missed an opportunity against Weymouth. I disagree. I think we've given ourselves an opportunity of doing something astronomically amazing for this football club. That's my viewpoint.
Like a sad old person, I was watching
You're
the
not.
115th replay of The Great Escape on TV this morning.
Yeah.
You're very far from being in that scenario,
Yeah.
aren't you? And I dare say you've been involved in a few relegation battles in your time.
I have. Now that is pressure.
And that's, for you, I think we've talked about it in the past, it's a much happier pressure to be under this, isn't it?
Dave, honestly, I don't see it as pressure. Truro have got everything to lose. The 5 teams underneath them have got everything to gain. We're in a good place. Do you know what? The boys are really excited. Almost just having to hold them back. The boys are great. We're looking forward to it. The amount of fans going up, the occasion, everything. It's up to me to control their emotions, be calm, trust yourself. What will be. We can only worry about Torquay United Football Club. And at 4:45, whoever's won the league, if it's not us, I'll be the first one on the phone to congratulate the manager. And we'll be full focus for the playoffs. We've had a great season, and it's still not over.
Manny Elisami didn't make the bench on Monday.
Yep.
Get our days right.
Yep.
Was that because you've only got 5 places anyway, and you had to make a difficult decision, or had he picked up a slight knock?
No, it was a difficult decision.
Right.
I had a good think about the bench, and I just thought there was a couple of scenarios where certain other players would come on and make a difference, and that's not always about scoring the goal. It might be assisting a goal. So the bench that I pick for this Saturday undoubtedly will be different again. I'm pretty clear. I'm pretty clear on my starting 11, and I'm 95% certain of my bench. But we're looking forward to it.
Yeah, he was fine. In other words, it was.
Yes, it was a tough decision because he's done nothing wrong.
No.
You said you were quite clear early on, sort of the Thursday last week about the team, and then you just said it again. Is that something you've been all the way through the season, or is this something that's...
I think I've got total clarity
Yeah.
on my starting 11 for Saturday. I normally know my team on a Thursday, which I just don't normally name it on a Thursday.
Yeah.
We spoke about it last week, didn't we? I like to name it 24 hours before. Sometimes that's not possible for whatever reason. Sometimes my gut tells me not to name it until 1:30 on a Saturday, on a match day. So, the boys won't know the team tonight, but I got clarity on my starting 11.
You've made Torquay really hard to beat this year. Perhaps lost 7 in the league or something. There haven't been too many opportunities where you've had to chase games and you've really had to try and score goals, and that is a possible scenario.
Yeah, it is.
Saturday. You said you've been coaching it. What are you seeing from the players that gives you confidence about that?
It's their body language, their calmness, they're communicating with each other, they're joking with each other, they're calm, they're in a good place. I look into their eyes as well. I can see body language is a big thing for me, Clive. You can fake body language, of course, but I see these I see these boys every single day. I know when they're down. I know when they're up. I know when they're low on confidence. I know when they're up on confidence. And I think they're in a good place at the minute.